Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's Wraith here, back with another video. Now, I'm sorry I didn't upload on Tuesday. The reason for that was basically, if you guys didn't see my post, I did end up selling my old PC just because I wasn't really getting enough frames. Like, I was at around 150, 140 in-game, and I did really want that crisp 240, so I did sell the PC and I got this brand new one, which, as you can see, my frames are already better in-game. They're almost always at a max 240, so it's super nice. I'll leave the specs in the description down below if you guys are curious. And yeah, honestly, it's a big difference going from 144 to 240. Like, it's insane. I already have a 240 hertz monitor, and it's just insane. Like, this gameplay was my first gameplay back on 240, and it felt really weird playing on it, but super nice at the same time. But enough for the intro. Anyway, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to kill better players, or how to kill sweaty players when you come across them in the game. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to this video. If you are, make sure you slap a like button on it. Comment what you want to see for a future video. Hit the subscribe button, and let's get right into the video. And this first 30 seconds of this clip is pretty funny, so no roasting me in the comments. Don't ask me what I was doing. I don't know what this dude was doing. I was just like, hey, okay, I'll play with you. But anyway, the first step in today's video is basically going to be the biggest one, and in my opinion, it's super important to learn, and it's being the one who engages in the fight and getting damage off first. So basically what I mean about that is pro players like Benji, Clix, like Bugha, whoever you're watching, what they really excel at is not having their opponents not know where they are. So what they're really good at is crouch walking, or just being the first one to get some heavy damage shots. And yes, that has to do with having good AR aim, as well as good tracking, as well as just knowing when to shoot. Like, a lot of people will be running 60 meters in front of you, and you'll shoot and you'll maybe hit a 30 damage shot. Instead, what a lot of pro players will do is they'll wait 10 seconds, wait for them to get a little bit closer, and then just hit some easy damage shots. Because if you can get 90 to 100 damage off right away, it's almost impossible to lose a fight. Or, okay, not impossible, but it's very difficult to lose the fight than if it's a 200 HP versus a 200 HP fight. Just think about it. They're going to be forced to heal. They may only get back up to 150 if they only have minis, or they're going to be trying to get off their minis or big pots the entire game, or the entire fight, which basically just allows you to apply super good pressure and just keep W keying them until finally they make a mistake, or you take their wall and they're going to keep trying to get their heals, and then you can just easily run over top of them. It's super important to realize why pros are so good at W keying, and the reason why is literally just because they are so good at getting those first damage shots. And then once they do get those first damage shots, it's literally just over for the other person, because they're so good at W keying and playing aggressive that they can just easily get the kill and clean it up. So coming into my next tip, and this is another super important one, and it's practicing and improving on your box fighting. Nowadays in Fortnite, back in Season 5, Season 6, you guys probably know there was build fights to the sky, and if you could build fight all the way up there, you were a god, and it was super cool, super dope. Nowadays, there's almost zero build fights. There's that initial build fight where whoever takes height first basically gets height and the other person just boxes up. That's just how Fortnite is right now. That's the meta right now. A lot of box fighting and a lot of close range shotgun shots and SMG sprays is how you win or lose a fight. So basically what you need to start doing is really practicing and getting down your box fighting ability. Now, almost every single top player in the world is really good at box fighting. There's obviously a reason for that, because they realize how important it is. Benji, Fishy, Clix, Mongrel, Kylix, all those players are absolutely one of the best box players in the world, and evidently they actually become one of the best players in the world, not only because obviously their box fighting is unreal, but because their mechanics and IQ is. But being able to box fight and being one of the best box fighters can help you win almost any single fight, because so many of these fights nowadays are literally all about box fighting. So trust me, whether you hop into Discord and try and find some players, or you box fight your friends, or even watch pro players box fight, watch Clix's 120-0 box fight wins or something like that, will help you improve so much, and it'll help you win fights so much more, even if they're sweaty players, just because you're better at box fighting than them. Personally, I watched Clix's box fighting for 2 hours when I didn't have a PC, because like this one was coming, and it was absolutely astonishing the small things he would do to help him improve and win fights. And trust me, watching pro players, especially clicks and box fighting, will help you improve a ton. Now my next tip, and this is kind of similar to being aggressive but almost on the opposite side, and it's when if you get hit first or you get damaged a lot, don't run if you can help it unless you know you can get away, and don't play super scared, because the biggest thing, and this again kind of ties into what I just said, but basically if you're trying to heal the entire time or you're trying to run away if you get damaged first or you get a heavy damage pump on you from a better player, the entire time, if you're just running away trying to heal, they're just going to keep WQing, keep applying pressure, and eventually they're going to get that kill on you where there's nothing really you can do. So what you need to do, instead of running away or instead of just like being absolutely petrified and keep trying to get that heal off, if you're at 125 HP, that's fine. Make the edit. Go for the edit. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, well, what do you mean? If I die, well, then there's not really a good point. But in some case scenarios, especially against really good players, you don't really have the choice. Like sometimes you gotta make the edit. You gotta make the play, because if you don't, they're just gonna keep WQing you and they're gonna eventually kill you. So what you need to do is box up, or especially if you're low mats or something like that, you need to box up and get to a position where you have a really good chance to make a heavy damage pump. Like you need to get a good damage shotgun or like a really good spray or something like that, especially if you're low, because if you don't, you're literally just going to keep getting W keyed and keep getting pushed until eventually you die, right? So trust me, if you're low or you like don't have much match or something, you basically need to get a heavy damage shot. So go for it. If you die, you die, but it's better to go for it than just keep running and eventually they're going to kill you, right? Now, a little trick you can do that I found, where basically if you're fighting a really good player and they like have insane edits, like you can't control anything, they're literally just way faster than you, way better than you, way smoother than you, is it basically just use that to your advantage. And you guys might be like, well, what do you mean? Like if they can edit, how am I supposed to kill them if they can edit way faster than me, if they can build way faster than me? But a lot of people, like even myself sometimes, and I'll admit this is what I need to work on, yes, you might have decent edits and you might have good building, but a lot of people are still really predictable. Like for example, you might be able to make a pyramid edit really easy, which if you guys don't know what that means, it's basically the top 3 corners in the wall, like what a lot of pro players do to give yourself the best right hand peek. Or a lot of people might, for example, I don't know, edit out the side wall and try and get a side shot. But honestly, if you pay attention and you're not focused on building or editing and you're just watching the player that you're fighting, it's pretty easy, honestly, in my opinion, to figure out what you need to do to counterbalance them, like how you can basically like predict what they're going to do and react and kill them pretty easily. So for example, like if I see someone who's just editing crazy over top of me and just doing some crazy edits, I know that they're going to probably try and yoink my wall when I'm boxed up, and they're probably going to try and go for an edit and shoot me, right? So what I do is sometimes, even honestly, I find is the best idea, is I'll let them take my wall and then I'll just move up forward, because 95% of times I find when really good players are fighting me, almost always they go for the Mongo Classic. And if you guys don't know what the Mongo Classic is, basically it means that when you get the wall, you're throwing in a ramp, you're cutting the ramp in half because the person like won't be able to build, they won't be able to leave, and then you just get an easy shot off on them because they're not ready. So basically what I do is I'll let them take the wall. I know that they're going to throw the ramp in, so all I do is stand upwards to the front of the box. I'll phase through the ramp, so when they throw the ramp in, I'm just holding my shotgun out and I shoot them in the face because they're not ready for it. Like I said, a lot of people who are really good at editing are still super predictable, and you can predict if you're not worried about like doing the building or worried about editing. All you have to do is literally just like wait for them to make a play. Like it's obviously sometimes you won't have the advantage because they'll get the right hand peek, but even if they have the right hand peek, if you jump and time your shots or you time what you're doing, it's still really easy to get a kill. And yes, unfortunately, like I said, sometimes they're just going to get the better damage shot than you, sometimes they're going to do more damage than you, but it's better to go for the overall kill than just like trying to run away and get hit in the back for 150 damage and then it's just like W key the entire time, right? So if I were you guys, if you know that you're completely outmatched, you're not going to be able to do anything, you're going to get outplayed, literally just wait with your shotgun out, stare at them right away, Just watch them hold what they're doing, and they're eventually going to make an edit, whether it's downwards on you, they're going to take a wall on you, they're going to try and wall edit on you, whatever the case is. You can just hold your shotgun, shoot, and then kill them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you slap a like button on it, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, and use creator code WraithFN in the item shop. See you guys in the next video.